Good afternoon, my impatients. It is I, Andrew the Android Koloski here. So, I think the first thing we should all talk about is, I guess, the death of Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, right? I mean, that's the first thing we should probably acknowledge here. Yeah, as a lot of you know, I was really obsessed with them and their music for many years. And to gloss over, the death of Brian Wilson would, Pizza Pasta says, "What's going on, big dog?" Oh, 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 oh. Not much. So how do you think my new haircut looks? How do you think my new haircut looks? Do you think it looks good, or do you think they butchered it? No, Patrick, you're still here. I can see you, Patrick. I can see you. Somebody says, "You look like a young Tom Cruise." Somebody says, "It kind of looks the same as every day." Yeah, I guess they did a good job. I guess they did a good job on it. All right. So what are you guys, how are you guys doing? How are things going with you? Any questions, comments, anything you'd like me to elaborate on? Somebody says, "What is the inspiration behind your breast milk song?" When I was younger, I used to say breast milk in a funny way like that. And it's just, yeah, it is really, I mean, it was just a comedic way I used to say breast milk when I was younger. And, yeah. Somebody says, "Was the breast milk song about your mother?" No one in particular. I think it's more just like a funny word and a funny thing to say, you know. Pizza Pasta says, "You don't even sound convinced by your denial." Maybe you're right, Pizza Pasta. Maybe you're right. Fair enough. I know Dr. Copland said my conversation with Mama from OnlyFans was incestuous. Yeah. Breast milk. Breast milk. Do you like beats fast in your... I don't really know what that means, Rusty. Where can I go and what can I do? I'm kind of bored right now. Rusty says, "It's a Black Eyed Peas song." Patrick says, "Go anywhere. Do anything." The first thing that immediately jumps out at me is go to the supermarket. but I go there too often. Patrick says, pull up Google Maps on your computer, close your eyes, move your finger around the screen, and stop whatever you land on go within reason. Yeah. So he says, get a beer, get a beer. I think I'll pass on alcohol. So he says, so you're staying in then? Hey Erie, how you doing? I mean, I'm dressed to go out. I mean, I could go out somewhere. Erie asks, do I like her new picture? Let me take a look at her new picture. It's you at a baseball stadium. Yeah, it looks nice, Erie. It looks nice. Nice new picture. Yeah, I remember. Is baseball going on? Are there any baseball games? Maybe I could go to a bar and watch a baseball game. Baseball. Eat some peanuts, eat some popcorn, and watch some baseball. Somebody says, yeah, let's call up Poppy and see what he thinks about Brian Wilson. Because I know my father was a big Brian Wilson fan, too. Somebody says, go up to Poppy's. Well, let's see if he answers here. I want to get my father's take on Brian Wilson passing, and hopefully we can get this on camera here. It's ringing. I tried calling him like 50 times today. He didn't answer. So, but of course he's going to answer when I call him for the medication. Hoi hoi, how you doing? I'm on with the inpatients, but I wanted to get your take on Brian Wilson's passing. Brian Wilson, the Beach Boys, passed away. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put you on speaker. Okay. Hold on. So I'm here with Poppy. Hey, Poppy, say hello to the inpatients.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, Poppy said hello. What are your thoughts about? I mean, obviously about Brian Wilson's passing of the Beach Boys.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, Brian had struggles in his life, but he was also a very talented musician, and he brought happiness and joy to a lot of people in this world,
including you and I.
That's true.
A lot of people say he was a true genius, a true innovative pioneer. And obviously we had, especially me. I shouldn't speak for you. I know I had a big obsession with Brian Wilson and his music when I was in college, and I'm sure you remember that pretty clearly, correct?
Yeah, well, the music with the Beach Boys and Brian Wilson's music. I mean, Brian Wilson wrote most, if not all, the songs by the Beach Boys.
All the worthwhile ones.
Excuse me?
All the worthwhile ones. All the good ones.
Yeah, I said most.
For the most part.
And, all you have to do is just go, just listen to, or just look at the list of songs that he wrote. And everybody's familiar with at least one Beach Boys song. And I'm sure everybody has a like for at least one song. I mean, he was, like I said, he was very talented, and he's going going to be missed. I know he was in his 80s. I don't know exactly how old he actually.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was in his 80s. Some people say, he lived longer than he had. People thought he was gonna pass away when he was in his 20s and 30s, and so he lived a lot longer than people expected him to.
And he had some health issues in the last couple of years.
Correct.
So I mean, his productivity days, or in regards to making music and making songs, I passed it by, or it wasn't as great as it was back in like the 60s and 70s and such. But
he did create Lucky Old Son, and that's why God made the radio.
That is true.
In recent years, those are some of his recent albums, I believe.
Yeah, and one of my favorite albums that he made was he did an album of all Gershwin songs.
Right.
And I mean, I love that album. I mean, it's just so soulful, and he really he did a really good job with it. And he makes the average fan may say, well, Gershwin, that's Broadway, that's
Right. I think when people think of Brian Wilson's best work, I think Pet Sounds is what they typically think of, and the Smile sessions. But obviously, the surfing and the Fun in the Sun and the summer songs are pretty great too.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Of course. And just to finish up, that Gershwin collection of songs.
Yeah.
It was very masterful. I mean, it was very. He put his heart to it, and it came out nice.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Brian Wilson's best days of creating music, as we said, were behind him. His peak period was probably about 1967. But obviously, he's a real legend. He's regarded as a genius and a pioneer in rock and roll and music and pop music, and he was definitely an influence on my life and an inspiration on me, and I guess you would say the same, correct?
Oh, sure. And plus he was a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which says a lot too. I mean, they honored him as being one of the best musicians, writers, songwriters of all time.
Erie asks, who is Brian Wilson? So I guess some of the younger people in the house don't even know who Brian Wilson is.
Yeah, he may not know the name, but
the Beach Boys.
I'm sure she knows the Beach Boys, and I'm sure. I mean, she knows at least one Beach Boys song. I mean, that's
yeah.
That's really it's heartbreaking, But
Erie says she only listens to K-pop and J-pop.
What did she say?
Korean pop music and Japanese pop music.
Oh, is that her forte?
I guess that's her forte.
Yeah, but songs like "Wouldn't It Be Nice" and "Good Vibrations."
And don't forget "God Only Knows."
Oh, without a doubt.
How could you forget "God Only Knows"?
Yep. Yeah, and I always like the song. It's an underrated song, but I always like the song. Good Timing.
Good Timing?
Good Timing.
Okay, fair enough.
That was always one of my favorite Beach Boys songs.
Okay. So how are you doing today? How are you feeling? How are things going with you, aside from Brian Wilson?
Okay, I'm hanging in there. Taking each day as it comes and goes.
Do you want to get together today, or is it getting kind of late in the day for you?
I think it's getting a little bit late.
It's getting okay. So we'll get together soon.
Okay.
I know Nami has mini golf Monday, right?
Oh, Saturday, right?
No, that's bowling. Bowling Saturday.
Oh, okay. And what does Nemi have?
I believe it's not going to be. It's gonna be mini golf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's exciting. It's some good activities to socialize and engage and hang with people. So that's gonna be a good thing. Do you want to go? Don't mention since I'm live, but do you want to do that thing Friday, or do you want to pass on that?
Yeah. Yes.
We can do Nami Friday. We'll think about it. We'll think about it. Yeah, we got to definitely hang because it's been a while since we hung together.
Okay.
I think Father's Day is this Sunday, so obviously I think we should get together. I got you some gifts for Father's Day, and yeah, we should definitely celebrate your big day, and maybe go to a restaurant, and I'll give you your gifts and so on.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, maybe we could get some Radicchio at the Radicchio. I know you say it's pricey, but it's a special day, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll take it like one day at a time because sometimes I'm just not up to it. I mean,
or we could get the Indian food. I
swing high and lows, and we'll see. If I'm feeling up to it on.
Somebody says, or we can get Indian food, and somebody says, Andrew, you should buy. Don't make Poppy pay. We could get Indian food at that restaurant. I think it's called D1 in Hicksville. Sunday for Father's Day. I could give you your gifts, and I will be the one who pays. It's kind of like The Sopranos. Did you ever see when AJ Soprano pays for the table? He's like, that's kind of what this is like, right?
Yeah, no, I saw some of The Sopranos, a couple episodes, but
right.
I wasn't really too. I mean, I never had the HBO
right
where I was living, and so I never really got a chance to see, a lot of The Sopranos.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I saw a few episodes. I don't think I've watched the entire thing from start to finish. I don't think I've watched it really since like 2006. So it's been like almost 20 years since I last watched a few episodes of The Sopranos. But I watched the finale, and sometimes I watch clips on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, he passed away too. The Gandolfini.
James Gandolfini. Yeah, he passed away many years ago. Not recently. Today was Brian Wilson. The big celebrity death today was Brian Wilson.
Yes.
Yes.
I know. We've had there's been maybe 3 major deaths in the rock and roll field. Rick Derringer, I think he died last week.
Oh, Real American. He creates Hulk Hogan's theme, right?
Yeah, and then yesterday was Sly Stone.
I don't know who Sly Stone is. Who's he?
He's a famous rock and roll.
What act is he affiliated with? I don't know anything about Sly Stone.
He was the leader of Sly and the Family Stone.
Literally know zero about him, but yeah, I mean, sad he passed away. Literally don't know anything about him though. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm still here.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Sly, so I can't even comment. But it said he passed away.
Yeah. He did a lot of podcasting.
Somebody said, "Holy shit! 2 planes just hit the Twin Towers." No. It's June 11th, 2025. That was how many years ago is 2011? No, it's not even 2011. It's 2001. It's 24 years ago. You're 24 years too late.
No, that was in September.
No, September 11th, obviously. No, I know that it was. I know that it was September 11th. I'm just saying it's 24 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everybody's doing well.
All right. I'm going to sign off. We'll talk later.
Okay, peace out. Thanks for calling. We got to get together soon. At the very least, Father's Day. Do you want to do Indian food for Father's Day?
Okay, that's a possibility.
Yeah, maybe we can get. It's a big buffet. It's reasonably priced. They got some really good food. I think it's cheaper than the Radicchio. The Radicchio is yummy too, but we can get the Indian food. I think you'll like it.
And you said it's a buffet?
It's a buffet. It's D1. It's in Hicksville. It's reasonably priced. The buffet. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds like a good plan.
Peace out.
Love you.
Love you. Bye. Okay, so that was a conversation with Poppy. Anybody have any last questions or comments or anything like that? I think it's called D1, the name of the place. So Mrs. Poppy is very nice. Poppy is very nice. Rest in peace to Brian Wilson. Yes, you missed. We just talked about that for 5 minutes or so. Somebody says the Indian restaurant D1 is a really nice restaurant. The waitresses and the staff, they're all very nice. Yeah, very, very nice restaurant, very nice buffet. All right, guys, should I hit the dusty trail? I just hope you and Poppy have a good day for Father's Day. I hope so too. I think we will. Should I hit the old dusty trail? Erie says, wait. Rusty says, do an hour. Okay. So he says, I want to hear more of the breast milk voice. Breast milk. Breast milk. Somebody says, are you going on a date with the Stony Brook woman? Oh, at first I didn't know who the hell you were talking about. But then it dawned on me exactly who you were talking about. No, I think that ship has sailed. Like Stony Brook woman, who am I chatting with from Stony Brook? And I'm like, oh yeah, now I know. What do you think of my haircut? How do you think my haircut looks? I look to Erie. How do you think the barber did on my haircut? Erie says, you got a haircut? Yeah? You don't think it looks good? On a scale from 1 to 10, how do you think my haircut looks? So he says, I honestly don't think I would have noticed the difference if you didn't point it out. Okay, I guess that means the haircut's not too good. Taylor says, it looks the same. So he says, zero, it looks the same as every day. How do you, I was afraid he cut me with the scissors too. I'm getting paranoid that the guy sabotaged my haircut. No, I don't think so. Some people say my haircut didn't come out too good. Do you notice cuts on the back or? There says there's a lot of gray hairs in the front. So he says, you're bleeding. Am I really? Am I really bleeding in the back? He says, it looks red. So he says, the back is pretty uneven. Really? It's a bad haircut? Yeah, he kind of was hurting me when he was doing it. Christopher, how do you think my... I looked at Christopher because he is a little bit of a troll. Christopher, how do you think my haircut looks? Do you think my haircut looks good or bad? How do you... Christopher, how do you think my haircut looks? Christopher says, I think it looks amazing on you. Thank you, Christopher. Are you just being kind or do you really think it looks nice? Christopher says he's always honest. It looks great and I am handsome. Okay. So he says, I appreciate your compliment. I believe your compliment. I mean, Erie told me it looked horrible, and she didn't even notice a difference. Erie says, can we see the back again? Yeah. I'm getting paranoid that we had... So he says, emergency room. We have a sadistic barber who's trying to infect you with HIV. No, toggle the switch. Christopher says the back is lined well. They said they did a good job. My mother said they did a good job too. So don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay, just don't worry. Everything's good. It's a good haircut. The sadistic barber. So he says, I think you could level up your haircut, though. Somebody says, call an ambulance. Go to the emergency room. You need to get on HIV PrEP, Andrew, immediately. The barber was nefarious. The barber was sadistic. No, come on. Don't fuck with me. Christopher says, I am wearing the cut well. Don't listen to the critics. Don't listen to the detectors. Somebody says, it's insane how you bring HIV into everything. Yeah, no, it's just. Somebody says, let the top grow out more, bust the sides real short. Somebody says, no one even brought up HIV. You're the one who brought up HIV. Rusty says, I am a detective. What type of detective are you, Rusty? Erie asks, would I let a barber cut my hair who's homosexual? Sure, why not? I have nothing against that, you know? I mean, if the barber was a sadistic, nefarious bully, then no. But if the barber was just homosexual, no, I don't. I mean, what is this, like the 1950s? Like, sure, you could be gay and cut my hair. What are we, living in the 1950s? No, I don't let any homosexuals cut my hair. Somebody wants to get me to talk about African Americans now. No. I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. But somebody says African American barbers are the best. So he says, wait, turn to the side again. Are you talking about the sideburns? Yeah, the sideburns. Oh. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I think I'm going to hit the old dusty trail. You know, Chris Erie says your skin looks a bit irritated and red. Are you getting too much sun? Yeah, I'm outside a lot. Why do you think I should stay indoors? I go for a lot of walks around the neighborhood because I'm boring and I have nothing better to do. I'm running too. I run for 20 minutes in the morning, and I walk for 40 minutes. Then I walk around the neighborhood and I get a lot of sun. I'm like a mailman. Long walks on Long Island. It looks red and bumpy. It could be the sunscreen irritating the face too. Maybe I'll go somewhere. Where can I go? Where can I go? Maybe. Maybe I'll go somewhere. I know Patrick says pick a random map and put your finger down on the map. Erie says, do you think by next year your hair will be mostly gray? I hope not, Erie. I hope not. I hope my hair isn't gray by next year. Taylor says, go to the beach. Christopher says he's actually hungry. I just had 3 hot dogs, which was pretty delicious. So I'm not too hungry. Take a walk to the supermarket. Christopher says, do you eat a lot? Yes, I do eat a lot. I do a lot of exercise, though. So he says, 3 hot dogs? Damn, boy. Yeah, I mean, 3 hot dogs is a lot, I guess. Yeah. Why? How many hot dogs do you eat? You eat 2 hot dogs? So he says, 3 hot dogs? That's a lot, Andrew. Rusty says, you had 3 wieners in your mouth. Christopher says he intermittently fasts and eats once a day. Somebody says, don't choke on those wieners. Erie says, I don't eat hot dogs, that's for sure. Intermittent fasting is a good method. It definitely keeps Christopher thin, the intermittent fasting. All right. I think I'm going to... Somebody says, you're in shape too, Andrew. Yeah, I think I'm in shape. Yuri asks, does my face sting? Not really. Where have you been, Erie? It's been a while since we last saw you here. Where have you been? All right, guys. I think I'm gonna get going here. Thanks for watching. I appreciate. I think I'm gonna hit the old dusty trail. Somebody asks Erie, why is sometimes she Chiba Erie and other times she's Iriana Grande? She says it's like Hannah Montana. So he says, later, big dog. Oh, 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 oh. Peace out. Peace out. It's like Rusty Trombone and Rusty Diner. He's got 2 accounts too. All right, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all again soon. Peace out.